We have all heard this advice a million times, and that is you don't need great gear in order to be a great content creator or streamer. But have you ever noticed the people giving that advice typically have great gear? Now, in general, I would have to agree with that advice, but I think there are some aspects to upgrading your gear that a lot of people really don't mention. So let's talk about why I think you should be upgrading your gear, but why I think you've probably been upgrading your gear for the wrong reasons. Let's hop into it. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Latham, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that has come up a couple of different times now in my streams over on Twitch, and that is the whole topic of upgrading your gear. Now, when it comes to tech in general, streamers especially are always eager to run out and upgrade their gear because, well, we love tech, but more importantly, there's this satisfaction a lot of people get by owning the latest and greatest and best thing. But what I have come to find more often than not when it comes to upgrading your gear is that a lot of people go out and buy the latest and greatest just to almost prove to themselves that they're a legit streamer or creator or gamer or whatever. Some of these things that I feel fall into this category are items like Nanoleaf lights, a fancy gaming chair, RGB everything on your PC, way too many computer monitors, things like that. You're probably guilty of owning some of these things. I'm definitely guilty of owning some of these things, but I think the truth is that these things don't make us better creators. I genuinely believe that there is a lot of truth to the advice that says you don't need great gear in order to be a great creator, because there are so many big YouTubers and Twitch streamers out there who have massive audiences, but they don't have great gear. It's their entertainment value that grew their audience, not their gear. Now that said though, I genuinely believe that upgrading your gear is an extremely important part of growing as a creator and streamer. But where I think a lot of people get it wrong though is the mindset that they have when it comes to upgrading your gear. I've noticed for a lot of creators, and especially ones that are just starting out, they purchase new gear with the mindset of a consumer. They see their favorite streamers with cool Nanoleaf lights in the background, so they rush out and buy their own Nanoleaf lights, put it in their backgrounds, just thinking that all of a sudden that's going to make them a great streamer. But when you are trying to be a legitimate creator though, you really do need to shift your mindset more towards a business-oriented mindset in terms of when you are making a gear purchase, you really need to ask yourself, what value is this bringing me, and how is this pushing me forward in my journey? So let's talk about this a bit more. Now for me, there are two main reasons of why I upgrade my gear for streaming and content creation. The first main reason of why I choose to upgrade my gear is because I want to be more efficient with my time. Time is the most valuable thing we have in life, and it is oftentimes extremely limited because we have so many other responsibilities outside of making content. So for me, I am always trying to find ways to speed up my workflows or remove any barriers to my work. Now, a perfect example of this is my stream camera. Right now, I'm currently filming this video that you are watching on a Sony a6400, which is an amazing camera. It's in 4K, has an amazing picture quality, but I also have a second Sony camera. It is an a5100 that I use only for streaming. Now the a5100 is an older camera, it's only 1080p and doesn't have nearly as good of picture quality as my a6400, so I've been asked multiple times, why did I go out and buy a second worse camera if I already have an amazing a6400? Well, the reason is because it saves me a lot of time and hassle to have a dedicated camera just for streaming. When I was working a full-time job, it was already hard enough to gather the energy to go do an awesome stream, and any other hurdles that would have gotten in my way, like having to set up a camera every time to stream, just would have made it that much more likely that I probably wouldn't have actually gone live. Having a dedicated camera just for streaming means I only need to set it up one time and I just flip the switch on when I want to go live. So for me, it saves a lot of time and helps remove a barrier for me getting my work done. If you're watching my videos, then I assume you eventually want to get to a point to where you can stream or make videos full-time for a living, and that means you need to start treating certain aspects of your hobby as a business. And in any business, a huge part of it is learning how to be efficient as possible, and that oftentimes does mean spending some money up front to set yourself up for success later down the road. So this really could be anything like upgrading your computer so it's way faster at editing videos, or even something like downloading a $5 app on your iPhone that helps you get organized so you can plan content better, which helps you put out twice as much content in a given week. So for me, I will always prioritize these types of purchases when I'm thinking of upgrading my gear. Now, the second main reason of why I upgrade my gear is to significantly improve the experience for my audience, whether it's through video or audio. At the end of the day, I want to be able to make the absolute best content I can possibly make and have my audience enjoy it. But if I am streaming with a blurry webcam or a terrible sounding mic, then it is actually going to hamper my content and get in the way of me delivering my value to my audience. Therefore, I absolutely think it is worth it to invest in things like a good camera, a good microphone, good stream overlays, good plugins for your YouTube videos, things like that. But notice how I mentioned in the beginning of this point that I upgrade my gear to make a significant improvement to my audience. For example, purchasing my Sony a5100 as a stream camera was a significant visual improvement from my old web camera. But if I wanted to take that camera even one step further, I could also go out and buy a nice lens to go with it. Specifically, I've been wanting a Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens, which would make it so my stream camera would have a nice professional blurry background, and I personally think it would look great. Here's the thing though, that is a $400 lens. Is $400 really worth the upgrade to have a bit blurrier of a background, in which I guarantee you most people probably won't even notice? And this same line of thinking is why I didn't go with an even more expensive camera for live streaming. The Sony a5100 was a significant visual improvement for my streams over my old webcam, but if I would have chosen to have spent twice as much money to get, let's say, an a6400, I guarantee you the majority of viewers would be really hard pressed to tell the difference between an a6400 and an a5100 on a live stream. The point I am trying to make is to spend the money where your audience will notice the biggest difference from the gear that you have right now. You upgrading your lighting equipment or getting better overlays for your live streams will definitely make an immediate noticeable improvement for your audience, in which they will easily be able to tell the difference, versus going out and getting an even better camera or even better lens probably really won't make much of an impact. Now, with all of that said, I definitely still do buy gear that falls outside of those two main categories. Buying things like cool Nanoleaf lights or gaming chairs or the latest iPhone can definitely help enhance our content, but I don't think it should be anywhere near the top of our priority list, because these items don't significantly push us forward in our journey of growing an audience. Now, if you have extra money to spare, or you've been creating content for a really long time, by all means, go ahead and splurge on yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't kid yourself in thinking that going out and buying an awesome gaming chair is all of a sudden gonna make you an awesome creator. These items typically make such a minor impact on the quality of our content, which is why I highly encourage you to ignore these types of upgrades until you are way more established. Obviously, there are going to be some exceptions depending on your niche or the type of content that you make, so you're going to have to be your own judge and really make that determination of what gear will really push you forward versus more kind of like a personal splurge. So I hope today's video gets you thinking a little differently about your next gear purchase for content creation or streaming. Comment down below on what gear you now plan on upgrading after watching this video, and be sure to subscribe for more videos related to streaming. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.